Get ready to gear up. We're taking you inside high school sports, your home teams, your rivals. Taking you inside high school football like no one else. Inside all the action. Inside the excitement. Inside all the games that count. This is Whataburger's Inside High School Sports. Welcome to Whataburger's Inside High School Sports. I'm your host, Pat Doney. It is December, and if you're still playing football, that means you're getting close to a state championship. The regional finals were this weekend, and the star power in some of these games was off the charts. Friday night at the Ford Center saw six-time state champion Highland Park taking on a loaded Frisco Lone Star team. It is our Whataburger Game of the Week. This Lone Star Highland Park game was a track meet. Over 1,100 yards of total offense. Both teams kicked a field goal on their first drive, and that's when the fireworks started. Buck Randall hooking up with Cannon Bozeman for a touchdown and a 10-3 Scots lead. Lone Star comes right back a couple of minutes later with a touchdown pass from Trey Wright to Zach Forbish. He had 183 receiving yards in the game, and it was tied at 10. The Rangers scored again for a 17-10 lead, but Highland Park right back with another touchdown pass. Randall to Matthew White for a 39-yard score. Lone Star scored just before halftime on a 4th and goal. This was the second of Carice Hoyt's 4 rushing touchdowns in the game. The Rangers kept it rolling in the second half. Wright connects with Davian Gross for a 28-yard score. Gross had 190 yards of offense, and it was 34-17 Lone Star. Highland Park hanging in there. Randall and White, they connect with 4 minutes left in the third. It was back to just a 10-point lead. Randall had 4 touchdown passes in the game, but the story of the game was the sophomore quarterback, Trey Wright. He finished with 653 total yards. Lone Star wins 58-38 and will play the winner of our next game. A regular season rematch between Aledo and Denton Ryan. Ryan looking for some revenge as they lost that earlier game. Aledo strikes first when Lincoln Tubbs rides the tailback, keeps it, and powers his way in for a 9-yard score. And then how about more Tubbs in his feet? He looks to throw, but then gets flushed out and makes everyone miss, weaving his way for a 30-yard touchdown. Bearcats up 14-3 early in the game. And this was the Lincoln Tubbs show. As again, he's going to call his own number here. Watch him spin out of a tackle, and he's in for another touchdown. Tubbs finished with 4 rushing touchdowns in the game, and the Bearcats defense put on a show as well. Ryan quarterback Quinn Hennigan gets absolutely swarmed by 3 Aledo defenders for the sack. This game never in doubt. Aledo rolls to the 43-17 victory. In Denton for the 3rd consecutive year, it was Allen and North Crowley for the 6A Division I regional final. Allen strikes first. Opening possession of the game, 4th and 2. Head coach Lee Wigginton decides to go for it, and it pays off. Jeremiah Dowd to Carter Harris. The Eagles are flying high with a 7-0 lead. North Crowley responds on the ground. Jareel Smith, nothing doing up the middle. So he bounces to the outside, and he's in with ease, and head coach Ray Gates likes what he's seeing there. But the Allen offense was just too much on this night. Dowd going to fake the option left, shovel it to Caleb Smith. He drags a couple of defenders over the goal line. This one never in doubt. Allen wins 33-21 and would await the winner of our next game. Duncanville looking to avenge their only loss of the season against Waxahachie, and early on things were looking good for the Panthers as Trenton Yancey running the zone read, keeps it for himself, and there's not a defender in sight. He goes 55 yards for a 7-3 lead, and number 6 was just getting started. Just before the end of the first quarter, they get it to Yancey in space again on the short screen pass from Jacorin Rivers, and he's rolled just short of the end zone, but it sets up another score to make it 14-3. Waxahachie playing uphill all day in this one, but junior quarterback Jerry Meyer pulls off the best 10-yard play you'll ever see as he somehow gets this pass to Jordan Smith. They would later score on the drive to make it 14-10, but it was all Duncanville from there. Yancey once again doing the honors. Duncanville advances to play Allen in the semifinals with a 35-27 win. A couple of heavyweights got together Saturday afternoon as Southlake Carroll squared off against Denton Geyer. Geyer strikes first. Future Illinois running back Caden Cobbs blasted his way through from 6 yards out. Extra point no good. Geyer's up 6-0 early. Back comes the Southlake Carroll aerial attack led by star wide receiver and former MVP bobblehead winner Brock Boyd, and the future Ohio State Buckeye turns this grab into a 74-yard touchdown. Geyer staying with the ground attack. Carter Morgan going to call his own number here. He goes untouched, 40 yards to the house, and the Wildcats are right back on top. The Dragons then crank up their ground attack. Brooks Biggers gets some excellent blocking. He's in from 19 yards out here. And then how about Biggers again, this time up the gut for another score. The Carroll offense racks up 511 total yards. They run away from Geyer and get the impressive win, 51-19. And so now Southlake Carroll will take on the winner of our next game. Arguably the best player in the state, UT commit Jermaine Bishop of Willis taking on DeSoto, and they've been in a groove lately, and it started with this man right here, Sarad Baker, the touchdown maker. He races to the pylon for a 15-yard score. DeSoto's up 13-0 in the first, but here comes Willis and Bishop. Lincoln Frazier throws a pass to him. Watch Bishop's speed as he races to the house for a 49-yard score. Wildcats trail 13-7 after a quarter. Second quarter now. The unstoppable Baker is at it again. Busting through the middle. He's off to the races. 71 yards on the touchdown. He had 7 touchdowns in the game. More on Sarad a little later. Finally, Legend Howell on the run. He dumps it off to his safety valve, Courtleon Jackson, who takes the short pass a long way. It's a 59-yard touchdown here. DeSoto will advance to face Southlake Carroll in the state semifinal with a 60-41 win. To a huge matchup in Choctaw Stadium in Arlington, Melissa taking on Argyle. Melissa without star quarterback Brett Holloway for the first half after being ejected in last week's win. His backup quarterback Drew Chapa was up to the task, delivers a 46-yard touchdown strike to Jacob Swaim here, and Melissa's up 7-0. Argyle responds with quarterback McGuire Gasperson with an absolute dime to Julian Caldwell. That's a huge pickup and helps Argyle out to a 16-7 halftime lead, and Santa approves of that. But in the second half, Holloway enters the game and made his presence felt. He takes off and sprints to the end zone here for the Cardinals touchdown, helping Melissa with a big-time comeback. The Cardinals win 20-19 and are on to the state semifinals. Salina's Bo Bentley was a full go against unbeaten Alvarado after he was injured last week. Alvarado's first play from scrimmage, though, KJ Jenkins, the shovel pass to DeMarcus Belton, who makes a nice move, and he is gone. 75 yards for the touchdown, and the Indians lead 7-0, just like that. Bentley then throws a pair of touchdown passes, including this one to L.J. Taylor. But Bentley had to leave the game with an apparent arm injury and did not return. Just before the half, Jenkins hits pay dirt again with this touchdown pass to DJ Clempett. Alvarado trailed 17-14 at the break. But Salina scored 5 times on the ground in the second half, 3 by this guy, Luke Biagini. The Bobcats win their 30th straight, 52-27, and get Stephenville next week in the state semifinals. And speaking of Salina and quarterback Bo Bentley, it's been another outstanding season for the future Oklahoma Sooners quarterback. He's put up big numbers all season long, and that's why Bo Bentley is this week's Parker University MVP.
Bo Bentley of Salina is one of the area's best dual-threat quarterbacks. Last year, he threw for 3,200 yards and 47 touchdowns for the 4A state champs. This year, through 13 games, he had over 2,600 yards and 28 more touchdowns. Bentley is also a danger when he tucks the ball and runs, as he ran for just under 1,000 yards last year. Bo has an electrifying throwing motion and can still rifle in some fastballs while he's on the move. Bentley is committed to Oklahoma.
And unfortunately, Bo Bentley was unable to join us to receive his Parker University MVP bobblehead. Bo is hoping to win a second straight state championship with the Bobcats this season and is arguably the best quarterback in the DFW area with a very bright future ahead with the Oklahoma Sooners. Congratulations again to Salina's Bo Bentley, our Parker University MVP bobblehead winner this week. All right, up next, it's much more playoff action, and our inside story tells us about a homecoming for one of DFW's most successful coaches. Stay with us. Our Kubota Country Roads takes us to Springtown's Porcupine Stadium as the Peaster Greyhounds and Paradise Panthers meet in a district rematch for the regional final. Both of these defenses stellar, but Peaster breaks through mid-first quarter. Mark Tullis from the Wildcat formation. It's 7-zip Greyhounds looking to avenge their regular season loss. But Paradise do-everything star Aiden Olalde ties it up in the second quarter. A Peaster field goal has it 10-7 Greyhounds into the fourth quarter, but the Panthers find paradise. Olave on 3rd and 15 finds Lane Smith. Just like the regular season, Paradise scores late to go up. It's 14-10 Panthers, but with under a minute to play and desperation time. Luke Gray goes deep to super senior Cade McCullough, 63 yards inside the 5-yard line. And that sends up Tullis for the game winner a little later as Peaster wins 17-14. Their first ever playoff win was just last year, and now the Greyhounds are moving on to the state semis to take on Grandview. TAP's Division I state title was a rematch between Parish Episcopal and Plano Prestonwood. This game was a straight-up rock fight. Jonathan Phillips on the keeper from the one in the second quarter. Parish Episcopal leads 7-0 after one. Stayed that way until the fourth quarter when Prestonwood does the same. For the Lions, it's A.J. Morial from the 1-yard line, and we're tied at 7. The Panthers with a 4th and 14, 3 minutes left. Freshman quarterback Logan Lucero goes 26 yards to Michigan commit Jalen Pyle. That moves Parish into the red zone, where Phillips goes in from the 3-yard line to give Parish Episcopal a 14-7 lead with 2:30 to play. 44 seconds left. Plato Prestonwood throwing deep, but in the end zone, Kingston Thornton is there for the interception. Parish Episcopal is back to doing what they do best, winning state championships under Coach Daniel Novikov. They're 6th in the last 7 years with a 14-7 victory. Fort Worth All Saints looking to repeat as TAP's Division II state champs, and they face the team they beat last year, Second Baptist out of Houston, down 10-0 in the second quarter. Gavin Beard hooks up with Hatton French, who makes a great catch in the back of the end zone, and the Saints went into halftime down 10-7. Things changed in the second half as Beard found a favorite target and kept going to him. His name is Hudson Reeser. This one from 8 yards out. And then how about another one from Beard to Reeser for a 15-yard touchdown? It's 21-10. All Saints after this score. And then how about one more for good measure? Beard with an absolute bullet here to Reeser. This one a 24-yard touchdown, his third score of the game. All Saints wins their second straight state title. 34-16 the final. Dallas Christian players going through the dad line as they try to win their 5th straight Division III state title. Down 7-0 to Lubbock Christian. The Chargers go to the ground game. Jackson Barr breaking free. It's a 45-yard run, but he's knocked down inside the 10-yard line. As we change quarters, Dallas Christian would continue the drive when Luke Sivrud rolls to his right and connects with Rylan Lewis for a 9-yard score. We are tied at 7. Down 15-7 later in the second. Sivrud looking to his right, but throws a screen to his left to Phoenix Pence, and Pence winds up with a 44-yard touchdown on this play. Chargers would lead 17-15 at the half, but would fall in this one 36-30, your final. The Thanksgiving Hoop Fest has always been a showcase where the country's elite high school basketball athletes come to shine. Our Kia Inside Story tells us it also gave an opportunity for a 3-time 6A state champion to come home again.
It was only 8 months ago when David Peavy coached Duncanville to a 3rd state basketball championship under his watch. But as the celebration ensued, Coach Peavy was trying to process a serious pivot in his coaching career.
I was approached late December or early January from a man named Hank Waters. You know, he told me he had invested in this prep school and he was going to build the basketball program and wanted me to be the next basketball coach. And I told him, no way. There's no way in the world I was leaving Duncanville. But the more we talked, we kept in touch, talked about once a week. And the closer we got to winning the state championship, the more I felt like it might be a possibility. And then it was when the buzzer went off and we won a state championship on the court, I realized I had coached my last game at Duncanville.
So Peavy took the job as the head coach of Southeastern Prep in Orlando, Florida, and has hit the ground running. Through 25 games, they've played all around the country, including when Peavy took his team onto the Duncanville court that he used to call home at the Thanksgiving Hoop Fest.
Honestly, it's probably the only thing I get really emotional about. A lot of great memories hanging those banners up. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a little emotional.
Peavy has 4 other DFW athletes on his team in Florida, including his stepson, Beckham Black. The junior point guard is one of the top-rated players in the country for his class. Beckham has a state ring that he earned last year with the Panthers. but says the move from a big 6A school like Duncanville to a small prep school helps him both academically and athletically.
The amount of people in classes is a lot different. The amount of people in the school, the amount of teachers, and just who you're around is definitely different. Definitely, I would say for SEPA at least, it locks you in more. It kind of feels more like AAU, you know, and I like that, you know, the competition's better year round, so.
Top-ranked athletes transferring from public schools to private prep schools is the way of the world now. So seeing PV want to help guide those athletes is not a total surprise. And the longtime coach is definitely at peace with his decision, leaving the City of Champions for a new challenge.
Leaving Duncanville, leaving Texas, leaving everything that I've known wasn't easy, but now that I've done it, it is what I needed to be doing.
All right, when we return, we tell you why a DeSoto running back is having one of the best seasons of anyone in the state of Texas. Stay with us. Gunner in a 3A Division II Regionals final as the Tigers were looking for a fourth straight state title this year. Thursday night, they took on Leonard, and the offense was clicking. First quarter, Knox Gage to Alex Fenner. It's a 23-yard touchdown. Gunners up 7-0 after a quarter. Second quarter now, the two connect again. This time, Fenner shows his improv skills, though, as he's pass interfered, still tips it up in the air, and still catches it. It's a 33-yard touchdown. Gunner goes on to win 45-14 and will face Wall next week in the state semifinal. After a slow start, DeSoto has been dialed in as they're now headed to the state semifinals. Kenny Matthews tells us in our East-West Shrine Bowl Next Level that the Eagles' multi-dimensional offensive threat has led the way to a lot of wins.
Once in a clear moon, you are fortunate to come across a football player that can do everything on the football field at an elite level. Well, DeSoto has super athlete in Sherrod Baker, who fits this definition perfectly. At 5'9" and 185 pounds, this well-packed-together player has done a little of everything so far for the Eagles on offense. You need him to play quarterback? He has done that. He played the first 6 games of the season at quarterback and was 21 for 32 with 500 yards and 4 touchdown passes. You need him at wide receiver? He could play that as well. 12 receptions, 2 touchdowns. Then the Eagles staff found him a permanent home at running back, and they have never looked back. His astronomical rise has been a thing of beauty to witness. 218 carries, 1,943 yards, and yes, 32 rushing touchdowns in 12 games. His efforts were great during the regular season, but he may have saved his best game for the postseason. Sherrod delivered one of the best performances in Texas high school playoff history, with 22 carries for 371 yards and 5 touchdowns over perennial power Longview in the second round of the playoffs. As a junior, he is starting to see his abilities on the gridiron be rewarded. With over 23 college offers, the number will double before April Fool's Day arrives. With help, Baker can go down as one of the best ever to run the football at DeSoto High School.
Sherrod has been one incredible story this year. From playing quarterback to wide receiver to running back, he's excelled in every area. Once Baker jumps out of his suit and glasses of Clark Kent, he becomes Superman right before our eyes.
Thank you, Kenny. When we return, we'll take a look back at some of the best plays from the third round. That's it for this week's show. Be sure to join us next week for state semifinal action. But we'll leave you now with some of the best plays from last week in our Plays of the Week segment.